it's me, Colonel Strat, the Strategy Extraordinaire here, and today I'm gonna have a little bit of a different video for you today. Today we're just gonna talk. I know, where's all the strategy content, Colonel? But I've been planning on slowing down so that I can show you guys my plans for the future. So due to the recent reception around the newest Warhammer DLC, I am going to branch out into other video games and other strategy games to cover more, and just to do what I've always wanted to do, and just keep on going to new games as well. So I've lined up 3 games that I'm going to be starting to make videos for. I have one review in the works, and I have some guides and that are kind of on the drawing table right now. But so the first game that I want to talk about is it's a Warhammer title that's a bit older, but I've been holding off on it. It's a 4X game, 4X Warhammer game that's kind of feels like a combination of Civ with like I don't know, like those 4X strategy games, It's called Warhammer Gladius, Relics of War. Now, Gladius, I've been sitting on it for a while. I thought about posting it, but, but not a lot of people talk about it, and I think it is a pretty good game, 4X game. There's not many Warhammer games out there, especially not many Warhammer 40k games that do well. And Gladius is I'm glad to see that it's doing well. I really do want to see. I have some video ideas for like explaining the different races. Maybe how you defeat certain enemy NPCs, how to break enslavers. So I have a lot of video ideas lined up for it, and I think you guys will appreciate it, even though it's not really the highest rating Warhammer game. It is it's still deserving of a spot. There's a couple more juicier ones I'm going to get into that are a lot better. It's not just Warhammer. In fact, one of them is historical, and another one's another sci-fi series. Because I want to stand out. I hold no bars, no discrimination against different types, different themes and styles. I like strategy in any form. So, but Gladius is really fun. It's basically it takes place in a world, and no matter which race you pick, you have to build up your city and conquer, and there's a lot of AI enemies that you have to take out, and basic 4X strategy where they swap turns and it's all based on stats and stuff. It's very 40k-esque, and I think it's probably the truest to the board game that you could get, because it's kind of like the board game Armageddon, as true as you could get to it, in video game format. So that is number 1. Number 2 is a bit more of a spicy hot take. It's a newer one. See, there was this old cult classic film I saw when I was growing up in the 90s, and I don't know if many of you have heard of it, but it was a film called Starship Troopers, and it was more. It had like a neo-fascist setting where a bunch of like ragtag guys with guns. Well, I don't like to say ragtag because it's a big military, but it's like a fascist military regime going up against bugs from space that kill them. It's really corny movie, but it was fun, and I never really knew that they could make video games off of it, but here it is. The one that I'm showing is one of 2 Starship Trooper games that come out recently. This is called Starship Troopers Terran Command, and it's more of a tactical RTS. It's not like an RTS in the traditional sense. Like, there's no base building, but there's tactical options, there's different bug types, there's different unit types, and there's high ground, low ground, you have lines of fire and all that. So it's fun. It serves its purpose, and I'm cooking on some good videos for that game, and I really think you guys will enjoy it because it looks really good. It's true to the franchise, and as a fan of the movie, we don't talk about the other 2, but the first movie, then I feel like this is a really good adaptation of what I would imagine it, and I can get immersed into the game and feel like I'm in the universe. And then so that's number 2, and number 3 is we're going back on more of a historical side, and this game I've been sitting on for a long time. I wanted to make videos about it, but because of how successful my Warhammer videos were being, I just decided to keep going on Warhammer. riding that and trying to get more people pulled into me before I try to deviate, because this one was a risky move. It has a more niche audience I've seen, but it's really good and it's really accurate to the time period. So this one is called the Great War Western Front. Now this one, not many World War I games try to depict the Great War as accurately as this one does. This one is like you get into trenches, and there's you have to adequately assign the you got to adequately assign the artillery positions, and make sure that you don't, because like people die all the time. Like you will not get through a game of Great War Western Front without taking I'd say at least 300, 400 casualties. And, that's just very accurate to how it was in the time period, because of how insane the weapons were and how backward the tactics were at the beginning. As you go into it, because it's like there's a grand map as well that I played mostly with the game, but I will dive into the other modes, you have to strategize and say show up this front here and push here, what front to deploy extra artillery on, what front to deploy tanks on, to get through the trenches. And there's massive charges you can do, and machine guns just mow everybody down, so you can lose a unit like that. You can have a unit of 200 guys in the entities unit, and it'll be gone like that with a machine gun. So it's gruesome, which is pretty accurate to the Great War. And I just feel like it's one of the greats, the hidden gems. And it came out pretty recently. I believe, if I'm looking here correctly, it came out it came out just this March. So it's still pretty new, and I love the graphics aren't nothing too special, but the scale is just insane, and it's something that I never would have expected in this day and age, to have a game like this at this scale. And it just really shows depiction to the Great War, and it shows that the developers wanted to accurately depict it as best as possible. Of course, it's a top-down view. It's not what everybody, some people want, like a in the trenches type view, but it still is a way to show it, and tactically and in a strategic sense, it's a very good game. So those three are my lineup right now. I have more cooking as well. I have at least 5 or 6 more, from older games to newer games that have come out that I want to try, and as well as games that aren't normally considered strategy games as well. I was taking a look at trying out Baldur's Gate 3, because there's a lot of strategy and mostly luck with the rolls, but as well as there could be strategic elements in it. But that's for another time. But I just wanted to take this day today to just lay it out on the table, and because of how terrible the recent DLC has done for Warhammer 3, I wanted you all to know that I was going to branch out into other things. That way, we can explore more strategy games. I can show more stuff to you guys, and just help share the love of this hobby that I love to do. So I appreciate your time today, Strat fans, and I thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me talk, and I hope you guys enjoy the future plans. And again, if you guys want me to cover any game, any strategy game, or play a strategy game, or do a guide on one, leave a comment down below. Let me know, because I have a massive Steam library, but I don't know of every strategy game in existence. And if you guys want me to try one out and want me to show it on the channel, I'll take your advice. I'll check it out, and if I like what I see, there might be a video in it, and so who doesn't want that? So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again for tuning in. And as always, remember to keep it strategic, Strat fans. This is Colonel Strat, signing out.